Hello and welcome back to Campusol TV's home and personal security program, Stay Safe. Every week we talk about a different aspect of yours and your property's security. This week we're looking at locks and some of the different types and uses. And to help us understand a little bit more, with me in the studio, with over 10 years in the business of advising on security issues, is our local Campusol expert, Greg Truman. Hi Greg.
Hi Paul, thanks for having me back.
Nice to come in again. What we've got today, we've got locks. I know you've got lots on the table and there's lots to talk about locks.
Yes, there is.
So first of all, when you go into a new house, what's the first thing you should do in a new house about your locks?
Change them.
Change them.
Yes, first thing you should do.
Why
change
is that?
them. Several reasons for that. Firstly, of course, you don't know who else may have keys. The previous owners may have given keys to neighbours. There could be builders that have keys, gardeners, pool cleaners. You don't know who's got keys to your house. So the first thing you should do is change your locks so that it's only you that have keys and nobody else.
Rightio. And when you say change the locks, are we talking about changing all of the locks for everything outside?
That's entirely up to you. My advice is always change your most vulnerable doors, at least. So front wrecker, front door, back wrecker if you've got one. Just change the entrance doors first. They're the most vulnerable doors. They're the way people make entrance to your house. So change those first.
Rightio. And you're saying change the locks. Is it the process of changing it? Is it something people can do at home themselves? Can you buy these locks anywhere?
You can buy the locks anywhere. You have to be careful though. You have to make sure the lock is the right size, and you have to make sure this piece, we call that the cam, you have to make sure that is the right size for your lock, for the mechanism.
So that's the actual thing that turns the mechanism.
That's the business part of that turns the mechanism.
Right, okay. And with the locks themselves, you said about people having keys.
Yes.
I've heard about a one key system. What's that?
One key system is brilliant. I love it. I've got one myself. I've got 8 locks and 2 padlocks and 1 key. They actually come with 5 keys, but any one of those 5 keys will open every lock I've got. The benefits of that, obviously you're not carrying a big bunch of keys around in your pocket to wear out. You've got 1 key. If there's, say, an appliance catches fire in your house in the night and your house is full of smoke, you're not fumbling around for a colour-coded key to get out. You've got 1 key. It will get you right through the house and out the building, gone. I often have people say, well, if I lose a key, people have got access to my whole house. But if you lost your keys anyway, they would have access to your whole house.
Yeah, so that's
yeah. And there are some other benefits too. If you do lose a key, you don't have to replace every single cylinder like you would if you lost your keys. You just replace 1 new cylinder, wherever that may be in your house, and then you have the rest. If this is what I do anyway, recode your existing locks to match it if you've already got a 1 key system.
So how does that work? Can you actually buy a lock with the code of all your previous locks?
No. Sometimes if I fit locks, I'll keep a note of the code and the address. And then if somebody wants an extra barrel or an extra key, then I know exactly. I don't have to go back around their house to get a key and measure up.
Just keep a note of it.
Yeah. So I can just make that barrel up or make the key up to match it. So, and to recode a cylinder is €25. So you're not having to fork out the cost of a whole load of 1 key cylinders. So we just recode one with 1 brand new cylinder.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I've gone around the houses there.
Yeah, I'm learning more. I didn't know you could do that, so it's all new to me. Yeah. I mean, you've got some locks on the table here. Different types for different doors, is it?
They're all for standard doors. This type is what we refer to this one as a standard cylinder. This is what most houses here will have in your doors, your wreckers, your underbuild doors, etc. Just a standard cylinder, and that's your. It's just a standard one, really. Which are great. They will lock your door.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with those, really. The only thing is, because your door's your first line of defence, you want something in there that's going to withstand an attack. Unfortunately, these ones here will snap in the middle there. I don't know if you can see that. and it will snap in the middle, which then leaves your lock vulnerable, your door vulnerable to be opened once.
But they're actually made to snap, aren't they?
They're not made to snap. It's just a weak spot in the design where the screw goes in the middle there to hold the cylinder in the door.
Okay.
That's a weak spot, so it snaps.
Yeah.
And exposing your mechanism, and you don't want that.
Because then they can get in through that.
They can get in through that, yeah.
Okay, so we've got a third one here.
This is what we call an anti-snap lock, which is a bit of a misnomer. You can see the pieces cut away here, and if this cylinder is attacked the way they normally attack them, instead of snapping like that, you have a sacrificial piece, that comes away. That falls away, and then there's nothing that they can do. You can still use your key on that, but there's nothing the crooks can do. That's then buried inside the mechanism, and there's nothing they can do. They can't smash it out. These ones come with anti-drill pins, anti-pick pins, anti-bump pins. So every way they attack them, it's covered with that, which is an anti-snap cylinder, which is designed to snap. As I say, it's a bit of a misnomer, but that's a secure cylinder.
Right, so this is all in the doors themselves.
Yes.
You mentioned before about padlocks as extra security.
Yes.
Are there different types of padlocks?
There are different types of padlocks. If you're going to buy a padlock, do your research and buy the appropriate padlock.
How do you mean appropriate?
Well, what you normally have to do is without going convoluted, make sure the shank will fit through where you're putting the padlock in. The shank being the arched piece. Make sure it's a good make, and you can buy different types of padlocks with a really thick shank. Depends where you're going, but have a look first. Don't just go and buy a padlock, because a lot of them can just be snapped off.
Yeah, because the one that we've got our gate, we did try one with a curve on it, but it didn't go through the curve. So we got a straight
one. They're brilliant.
Straight one. I mean, is there a benefit to those over the curved ones, or are they all much less?
They're very tough. Those ones with a straight bolt are very, very tough. And the only way they're going to get through those is using a grinder, and they don't want to use a grinder. No. Whereas the other ones can be, I won't go into details how to do it, but they can be bypassed.
They can be
bypassed. Yeah.
Okay, so the best type are the block type, if they fit in the place where you need them to fit.
You can buy some very good padlocks with half a cylinder in. So you can buy a padlock, we can put a cylinder in to match if you've got a one key system.
Right.
That's what I've got at home. So my one key that does all my doors will also work on the padlocks as well. They're expensive though, so just bear that in mind. There is a cost involved for those.
Is it normally the way, if you're buying a padlock, if the more you pay, the better you get generally?
Absolutely, yes.
If you're buying from because I'm sure that some of the reputable names in padlocks and locks, they will sell expensive ones and less expensive ones, even though they're a good name. But
it
with
depends
those
what you want to lock. Yeah.
The more you pay, the more you get.
The more you pay, the more you get is normally the way,
Which is fair enough. But when it comes down to security, that's certainly something to consider.
Absolutely.
So we've talked about locks today. We've talked about padlocks, the one key system, which I didn't know anything about. We've talked about obviously securing the house with when you buy a new house or move into a new house. What about renting a house? But going back to this very quickly, do you need your landlord's permission to change locks normally, or because
the law in Spain says no, you don't need permission to change your locks because it is your home.
Right.
However, it's always nice and courteous to inform your landlord and to give him a key out of courtesy. Most landlords don't just turn up and walk in. Most don't. But you have, as someone who's renting here, if it's long-term rental, you have got, not holiday let, but a long-term rental, you have got the right under Spanish law to change your locks. It's your home, so you can change your locks.
Okay, that's interesting. Thanks very much, Greg.
You're very welcome.
Really interesting today. We'll talk about something else next week.
Yep, lovely.
Go on.
Oh, sorry, one thing I wanted to mention, Paul. Sorry, I beg your pardon. That one key system, which puts some people off. Well, my pool cleaner can get in through the whole house. No, he can't. You can get service keys, which will, they're separate keys. They will work on your front gate to allow your pool cleaner in to clean the pool, etc. They don't give access to the house. your master keys will work everywhere.
So it's like a master key.
It's like a
skeleton
master
as you
key,
call
yeah,
them,
yeah.
So
But-
you've got one key for everything, but
Yes.
then each you can allocate a different key to other
To
aspects.
different locks.
To different locks.
Yeah, yeah, for extra security. So if you give
Right.
a key to a pool
Yeah, yeah.
cleaner gardener, you haven't got access to your whole house. Not that any of them would go into your house, but
No, I'm
it's
glad you mentioned
just
that.
peace of
That's
mind.
actually
Yeah,
something
sorry,
that
I've got to
people
get
might be
that in.
thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. Brilliant. Your experience has shown again, Greg. Thank you very much indeed, mate.
You're welcome.
We'll
Cheers,
see you
Paul.
next week. Thank
Yeah,
you
look
very
forward
much
to
for
it.
watching, and we'll see you at the same time next week with more information on how you can feel safe and stay safe. Bye-bye for now.